The summer solstice, the longest day of the year, has been a key date in many ancient cultures. For pre-Christian peoples, this moment marked the peak of the sun's power, a symbol of life, fertility, and renewal. It was celebrated with rituals that honored light, fire, and the cycles of nature. With the expansion of Christianity, many of these traditions were absorbed and reinterpreted by the Church to ease the transition from paganism. Thus, the solstice celebration was replaced by that of St. John the Baptist, celebrated on June 24th. This biblical figure, the last prophet of the Old Testament, is associated with baptism, purification, and the announcement of Christ's coming. His connection to water and renewal made him an appropriate Christian symbol for this time of year. Bonfires, once lit to give strength to the sun and protect against evil spirits, remained part of the St. John's Day festivities, although they were now given Christian meanings, such as representing divine light. The fusion between the pagan and the Christian is also seen in other aspects. For example, the ancient Celts worshipped the human head, believed to be the center of the soul and a channel of spiritual power. Interestingly, St. John was beheaded, and his head became one of the most venerated relics of the Middle Ages, which may link his figure to older Celtic beliefs. During this time of year, the Celts also collected St. John's wort, a golden flower associated with the sun and protection. They wove garlands with it, hung them on doors to ward off evil spirits, and some even carried it under their left armpit as a protective amulet. One of the most powerful symbols of this ancestral legacy was the Celtic cross, in which a circle surrounds the intersection of the vertical and horizontal arms. For the ancient Druids, this circle represented the sun, the great source of life, energy, and renewal. It was an emblem of wholeness, natural cycles, and the balance between heaven and earth. With the arrival of Christianity, the symbol was not eliminated but reinterpreted. The solar circle came to represent the eternal light of Christ. But beyond the circle, the very shape of the cross held deep astronomical symbolism linked to the sun's annual path. The shorter upper arm could be interpreted as the winter solstice, when days are short and light is scarce. The longer lower arm represented the summer solstice, the peak of light and expansion. The horizontal arms, of equal length, symbolize the spring and autumn equinoxes, when day and night are perfectly balanced. At the center of this cross was the point of union, the axis, the sun itself, which in Christian tradition became embodied in the figure of Jesus, the spiritual sun. The ancients not only honored the sun with rituals, they also carved it in stone. In places like Newgrange, in Ireland, one of the oldest megalithic monuments in Europe, the carved spirals reflect the sun's journey throughout the year. A tight, clockwise turning spiral symbolized the winter solstice, a time of withdrawal and darkness. In contrast, an open counterclockwise turning spiral represented the summer solstice, when light reached its fullness. The equinoxes, when day and night are balanced, were expressed through two twin, harmonious spirals. The summer solstice is not just an astronomical event. It is a sacred moment that invites us to reconnect with our inner light, the fire of the spirit, and the rhythms of the earth. To celebrate it is also to remember the wisdom of our ancestors, still alive in nature, in symbols, and in the deepest parts of the soul.